Achnosas Orchim now you have. You are the host. Okay. Okay, Rabosai, let's Hilchos Deos, I think we're towards the last couple of halachas. Halacha Vav. Perik Zayin Halacha Vav. Is that what we're up to? Those who are keeping track. I don't remember if we did the one previously, but let's just pick up there. Did we finish the Halacha Vav? Remember if we did that one? I think we might have done it. Let's just read it. All of those people that we spoke about, Lashon Hara, Moti Shemra, Rechilos. Well, we can't be near them. Not to listen and schmooze with them. If we know that this is a group that does not do good for my neshama, and we choose our chevra. So if we know that there are certain people that bring out the best in us, that's the chevra that we have to choose. If there's a chevra that brings out not the best in us, then we have to stay away. And that way, I think we mentioned this last time, that the Gzar Din of the 40 years was for Lashon Hara on Eretz Yisrael. Okay. Halacha Zayin. 2 final halachas of Hilchos Deos. Let's see if we do one of them today. We'll see. Anokim etz chavero. Hilchos Deos ends with revenge. Yesterday's parsha. Nekima and Netira. Anokim etz chavero over below. Maybe one of the hardest averos there are. One of those averos that are in the heart also, not only action. Hanokim es chaver over below sase. Shnema lo sitom. Biavo b'sheina loke da'as ra'ahi ad ma'od. Even though there's no malchus, because it's a lav she'ein bo maisa, that can be done without a maisa, but it is evil, says the Rambam. Alaroy la'adam lios ma'avir al kol divrei ha'olam. We have to be ma'avir on everything. Al kol divrei ha'olam. That includes a lot of things. All divrei olam, we have to try to be ma'aver. Let things slide. Shahakol, listen to this line. Shahakol eitzel ha'mevinim. For those mevinim, we have to be a maven in life. For those who really understand life, everything in life. Shahakol eitzel mevinim divrei hahevel v'havai. Ve'enan kedai linkom aleihem. What's worth it to get upset about? What's worth it to take revenge about? Somebody slighted me. Somebody upset me. Says the Rambam. The mevinim. It's divrei hevel v'havai. Is it going to make a difference in a week from now, in a month from now? And then he describes what's nekima, what's netira. Ketadi nekima. Amar lo chaver achlini karduma. Can I please borrow your axe? Amar lo eni mashilcha. No, sorry. L'machar tzarach lishol mimenu. Amar lo achlini karduma. The next week, the other guy says, well, can I borrow your axe? Amar lo eni mashilcha. There's lo chaltani because well, you didn't lend me. I'm not lending you. That's nekima. Ariza no cave. Ella, what do we have to do? Kishayavo below lishol yitem belev shalem. We have to give even if he didn't give me last week. It's like impossible. I asked somebody for money. Could you lend me money? No. The following day, he comes over. Could I lend our money? Sure. Without any sarcasm. Without any holding something back. That's what the Torah demands. So too did David HaMelech say, it's very, very hard. And the next Rambam, let's just finish because it's one topic. Netira is also a type of revenge. Ruvain Shamar Shimon Charlie Bayazeo Shaleni Sharzek, can you please rent to me? Lo Ratza Shimon. He didn't want to. Yamim Tarach Shimon LeRuvain Lishomi Menu Liskar. The Rambam also used Ruvain and Shimon, right? Not just us, right? Can I borrow? Ruvain Halacha. Sure. I'm not like you. You didn't lend me, but I'm going to lend you. Sometimes children do something, but along the way they have to shtuck their sibling. Yes, of course I will. Right, that clearing the throat could be a kiyum of netira, right? Not a good kiyum. Areni mashilcha, ve'eni kamoscha, v'lashan l'cha kamatzecha. I'm not going to pay you back like you deserve to be paid back. Ha'osa kazeh avar below sitar. Elo yimache hadavar milibo v'lo yitrenu. Erase it from your heart. Don't hold a grudge. Because machu noter at hadavar v'zochro shema yavo linkom. Because if you always have it in your heart, if you, Netira, interesting, the Rambam says, If you're noter, it's going to lead to Nakima. Right now you're giving it, the next time you're not going to give it. Sounds like Nakima is even worse from that Lashon. It goes, Machu who noter as Adavar v'zochar, Shema Yovar Linkom. Goes on the line, the Siag Daraisa list that we'll get to hopefully one day. Erase it. Lo yizkarenu. Zui adeh anachona she'efshar she'is kayim bo yishav ha'aretz. Umason umatana shebnei adam zemzeh. That's how society could function. Rambam ends off Hilchos Deos. Right, we have to let things slide. Somebody takes your parking spot. Somebody takes the last piece of schnitzel. Right? Somebody, whatever it is. We have to say, okay. I remember the Sefer Chinuch we mentioned often from yesterday's parsha. We mentioned it last week, right? Reish Mem Aleph. That we have to say, just let things slide. It's not worth it. It was meant to happen. Man in life is subject and object. As a subject, we have Bechira Chafshis. Everything that's in our control. As an object, we have to, right? We have to just deal with reaction. There was a bar mitzvah in my community on Shabbos. It wasn't in my shul, but it was in my community. It was in the backyard. I went to daven. They set me up in the corner of the backyard, all the social distancing and all the 6 different backyards that were involved. I gave this part. I spoke about this chinuch, the bar mitzvah boy. Like, we can't choose, how our bar mitzvah is going to look. We could just react to, what are we going to do with what we're given? There's no party. There's no celebration like normal. But, we could lane well. We could be the simcha. We could try to do the best we can under the circumstances. Right? And that's generally what we have to do, especially by a case of becoming tira. We have to be ma'avir al midosa. Remember, we want to forget a lot of the things that we do. So if we forget some things that other people do, hopefully HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help us out and forget some of the things that we do. I think we mentioned in the past. The Zohar that says we're all writing a book, and every page in the book is a day of our life. And we want to fill each day with things that we want Hashem to remember. Right? We don't want to be up there skip those. You can skip that page. That day wasn't so. You can skip. No, we want every page to be focused on, and therefore we have to realize every day, does this really matter? Does this really matter? So that's what we have to try to do in our life, and as best as we can, even though it's challenging, even though it's very challenging. Okay, that takes us through Hilchos Deos, Baruch Hashem. Hadron Alach. Hashem, next time we'll start something else. But now let's get into Yerushas Ha'ach. Yerushas Ha'ach, which we started last time, and we will now continue and get back into it. We asked 2 of the 3 questions coming up that hopefully you got to see some of the more of the Marmakomas. Okay. The Yerusha of the brother. We'll talk about the svara for this after. First, we're going to see evidence, and then we're going to talk about what makes it unique. I hope some of you thought about it. What makes the relationship of the brother unique, but we will get there. We noted 2 points. Number 1, Tosfos. Tosfos on the first half of the parak. And Sundays, we always have to get back into the zone of Shir. But sometimes after Shabbos, it's been a couple of days. The Tosfos, both on Kuf Chesam and Aleph and on Kuf Chesam and Beis, beginning of the parak. Tosfos asks the same question, but the only difference is the first one's on the Mishnah and the second one's on the Torah. And the question is, why do we even need to have to mention brothers in the Mishnah or in the Torah? It's obvious. Once we say a son gets from a father gets from a son, then Memela. The other brothers, if there's no father, they're going to get from him. If the father dies, it's going to come to them. So what do we even need concept of mention of brothers if the brothers just come through the father anyway, right? That's the sugya called mishmush. Ellie, you with me? The sugya called mishmush, going through. Once the father dies, the sons get it. So therefore, says Tosfos, what do we even need Achim for? So on Kuf Chesam Beis, Tosfos gives a technical answer. You're right, we don't really need Achim, but it says it for a different reason. On Kuf Chesam Aleph, Tosfos gives a fascinating answer. Why does it have to say brothers, min ha'av, maternal brothers? Because it has to say that brothers from the mother, maternal brothers are excluded. Then Tosfos says, and by the way, why do you have to say maternal brothers? Aren't they excluded once mother is excluded? So too, mothers sons, meaning your brothers are excluded, Tosfos has the amazing line. You might think that even though they don't get from the mother, but what does Tosfos say? Even though they're not going to get it from imo, but maybe they get it from koach ach. But what does that mean? What exactly does that mean that they would get it mikoach ach? So that's point number one. What is Tosfos driving at? What is Tosfos driving at? Number one. Number two, the second point we made was that we saw the Sifri. It also says the brothers get me during from the father. But we saw the Gemara. The Gemara on Kuf Chesam Beis and Kuf Chesam and Aleph as a Havamina that brothers would go before the father. And they say they're on Achlos. Right? So Kuf Chesam Beis says maybe the brothers would go first. Right? Maybe the brothers would go first even before the son. Right? But that was the line that Yosef asked about. Is Yosef on the screen? Is he around? Do I have Yosef? I have on my screen. Maybe somebody just left. Now there's 18, not 19. Okay. But he asked about that. You might think, what the Gemara say, Kuf Chesam Beis, why do I include son? The son goes before the father, and the father goes before the brothers. Maybe the opposite. Maybe the brother should go before the father, and the father should go before the son. So that's pretty amazing Havamina. The brother would go first in line. Right? Mari Isa, the Rabbi says, Ben ulahoti asa'ach. Maybe the ach should go first. So why should the ach go first? Before the son? We didn't emphasize this on Thursday. Is there any type of svara that one can think of, Havamina, that the brother would be the first in line, even before the son? I tried to Google today the definition of a blood relative. Right? Is there any, I don't know, physical, biological explanation of things being different? I didn't get anywhere. Feel free to search more. But they said the blood relatives are, son, daughter, mother, father, brothers. But they didn't help me out here. But is there any svara to say that brother is first in line? So we'll have to get back to that. For our question now, it's that how could brother be before the father? Brother comes from the father. That's why he gets Yerushas in the first place. So how does that work? Knowing Tosfos is all svara. Remember, Tosfos even asked, what do you have to mention brother for? Once you know father, you know brother. So that whole svara is based on the idea that brother comes from the father. So why would the brothers ever be able to go before the father? That is, again, what is Tosfos driving at? How do we read these Havaminas in the Gemara, knowing that, as we saw in the Sifri, that the brothers come mikoach av. Avram, you had your hand up.
I was just gonna say that the Gibum, I think, would be a good start to say that the brother would come first. No.
Okay, the brother would go before who? Not before son, or maybe not. Okay, that's a reason. Remember, the Gemara is comparing their brother and son, not father, right? Because father's not really shaykh by Yibam. But that, Hashem, we'll talk about. We'll talk about that line about Yibam. Okay. Good. The next point to mention, the next question, and then we'll try to put things together. Again, these are all ha'aras, trying to figure out exactly what the Rishonim are driving at, and how do you understand the Yerusha of a brother? That's our question. So the Gemara Kuf Nun Testament Aleph. This is what we ended off with on Thursday. So the Gemara in Perek Mishames, Kuf Nun Testament Aleph. The last daf of Mishames. The last daf. Kuf Samach starts the last parak in Baba Basra. The Kuf Nun Testament Aleph has the case that hopefully you saw. Itmar. Right? What was the case? Somebody remind me? What was the case of Kuf Nun Testament Aleph? Somebody want to mention it?
I can do it.
Okay. Okay, Dov, we'll get to your point. Yeah.
So should I read it or just explain?
You can read it, that's fine, and then explain it.
I see. Ben shemachar b'nechsei aviv b'chaye aviv umeis b'no motz miyad al kochos.
Umeis, comma.
So if umeis b'no motz miyad al kochos. So if Reuven sold the property of his father Yaakov and when Yaakov was still alive, and then
right.
Reuven died, and the Mepharshim explained then Yaakov died after that, then Reuven's son Chanoch can take the property from the people who bought it from Reuven. But this is difficult in Imaminus Limrule, because they could say to the Kochas could say to him, Avucha Mizavin ve'ad mafik.
Well, that's the guard's question. The question, right. I mean, this is the Gemara's going to have 3 or 4 possibilities, which we're not going to go into all of them now. It's something difficult. There's some psak that's difficult. This is a difficult psak, says the Gemara. Right? Why is it difficult? Because they should be able to say,
Avucha Mizavin ve'ad mafik. Your father sold it to us, and you're just going to take it away?
Right? Aren't you coming from your father? So how could you, take it? What do you mean? Your father sold it to us. What are you doing here? You're here because of your father. You get the Yerusha from your father? And the Gemara says,
my kusha, but why is this even a problem? You could say that I'm coming from the strength of my grandfather, not my father who sold it to you. So then the Gemara explains that from your father should your son should come.
Right. Therefore,
so he goes from the grandfather. He's not coming mikoach ha'av. He's coming mikoach ha'saba.
And therefore, it shouldn't be so problematic. So what is the Gemara? Bothered by? Good. So, and then the Gemara goes into, okay, there are some other possibilities. What is the difficult top? What I had you look at is this line afka. Meaning the Gemara says that, Chanoch, remember, Chanoch is Reuben's son. Chanoch is the one. Chanoch could say, I'm coming in place of Yaakov. I'm coming straight from Yaakov. Straight from Yaakov. Not my father. I'm skipping from Yaakov. What happens if it's not his grandfather, but it's a different Morish? He's getting money from somebody else. Let's say it's his father's uncle. His father's uncle is the one that is being Morish him. Did he also say that I'm coming as a stand-in directly from him? Let's say in our case, Chanoch, remember, Reuven sold the property, but Reuven didn't sell Yaakov's property. Reuven sold Esav's property. Reuven sold his uncle's property, not his father's property. So did Chanoch, even in that case, again, it seems like a technical thing with the names, but it's going to be crucial. Did Chanoch, even in the case where his father sold his uncle's, like Chanoch's great uncle's property, did he also say there, I'm not coming from my father Reuven, I'm coming from my great uncle Esav? So that's the question. So I gave you, if you look in the Ravid in the Shita, right? The Ravid in the Shita, look at this right here, says he seems to emphasize that it's specifically by a grandson. Right? That's the pasuk. Achas avosecha yu banecha. Right? What does the Shita say? Ki ben aben harei keben mikoach avi ha'av ka'asina. I'm coming from my grandfather. Ubimakam av ka'amina. Klomar. Amazing lashon. Achar misas avi shnei morishin yeshli. Says Chanoch, because my father died before my grandfather, so I have 2 people directly connected to me. My father and my grandfather. I have 2 morishin. Ki ani yoresh es avi ha'av shelo tavo li nachlasim miyad avi ki em miyad zakeni shani kibeno. Right? I'm coming from my grandfather. My father sold this stuff, but I didn't want him to sell. I wasn't interested, and he didn't have a right to sell it then. I'm coming from it was my grandfather's stuff, and I'm coming from him. That's how the Ravid interprets the Gemara. It seems to emphasize the grandfather and grandson. But I gave you, look in the Yad Ramah here also. He seems to say otherwise. But I gave you the Sefer HaTrumos to look at. You got to just think about his suffix, understand the significance. The Sefer HaTrumos, one of the Rishonim, one of the less known Rishonim, I gave you on that sheet. He has a suffix about this. Ikol iyune. You have that extra sheet that I gave you? Yamina hachi b'shar yarshim olo. Right, ikol iyune. And he says towards the end, he says, Olam dafka ba'avi aviv. I think only grandfather. Because I'm not sure, so limited. You can only be motzi from in the case of the Gemara. Right, he has the suffix to say that it applies even in the case of the Achi Ha'av. Achi Ha'av. Maybe he could say it from the grandfather, but he can't say I'm coming straight from, let's say, oh, did I say? I'm sorry. I skipped a generation. If he's coming not from Asa, but from Shimon. Let's say he's selling Shimon stuff. Yeah, that's simpler. I'm sorry. I just said the wrong. I was getting ahead of myself. When Reuven sold the property of Yaakov. So the Chanoch could say, I'm coming from my grandfather Yaakov. I'm not coming from Reuven. What if Reuven sold his brother's property? What if Reuven had sold Shimon's property? Could Chanoch also say, I'm coming from Shimon. I'm not coming from my father. And my father had no rights to sell Shimon's property. That's the suffix. Forget Esav, I apologize. All right, that's the suffix. So the Sefer Tumas has a question about that as suffix. Well, let's think about this for a second. Somebody finish the line. If it's true that a brother only goes through the father, so then what would the suffix be here? If Reuven only gets Shimon stuff through Yaakov, then there shouldn't be any difference between Reuven selling Yaakov stuff and Reuven selling Shimon stuff. But Shimon stuff Reuven gets only through Yaakov anyway. So what's the whole suffix of the Sefer HaTrumos? I'll say it again. The Sefer HaTrumos says, has the suffix about it. The Rabbi says in Mefurish that it's only the grandfather and not anybody else. So let's think about this for a minute. If Reuven sells Shimon's property, and now the Sefer HaTrumos has a suffix about it, and in that case, the Rabbi says if it sure doesn't work, right? He can't say I'm here, b'makom my uncle. But 1 second. If the brothers only get it through the father anyway, and even if Reuven sells Shimon stuff, how is Reuven really connected to that? It's through Yaakov. Therefore, there shouldn't be a difference between Chanoch saying, I'm here b'makom Reuven, I'm here b'makom Yaakov. In any case, again, even if Reuven sells Shimon stuff, why doesn't it apply that I'm in place of my grandfather? It's his grandfather that's getting his uncle's stuff to him anyway. So again, it seems like it's not so simple that it goes through the grandfather. There seems to be some type of direct connection. What's the suffix of the Sefer HaTrumos, and what's the vada of the Ravid? Again, the Ravid said it only applies to a grandfather. That's the only morish. But if the brother goes through the grandfather, then the brother Lamaisa is also Ilu with the grandfather. He should say, "B'makom avi abba ani." So what's going on here? So let's get to the secret. Again, it seems it's somewhat obvious going through these sources, but it's alluded to and even said partly mefurish in the Ramban. This Ramban is the key to the sugya. This Ramban right here in Bamidbar. The Ramban in Bamidbar and Parshas Pinchas. The Ramban is not talking directly about the brother's Yerusha. The Ramban is talking about why father is not mentioned. That we mentioned last week when we read the Psukim. Now, why is it that the father, what does it say in the Torah? It says a son, it doesn't even say a son directly, right? It says Ben Elo, but it says son and daughter and brothers. It skips over father. The Ramban is father. Why doesn't it say father? Why doesn't it say father? 3 ideas in the Ramban. Why doesn't it say father? Did you? You have the Ramban there.
I don't have
You
it.
don't have it there? Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
No.
I'm just asking. Where's the Ramban there? Where's the
I could get one, Rabbi.
It's okay. It's okay. Stay taking notes. It's fine. Ephraim, you have a Ramban there? Who has a Ramban?
No, right now.
Okay, everybody Ramban. Okay, I'll read the Ramban.
I just forwarded it to the shoe chat, Rabbi. Oh,
Okay.
Dovi did too.
Okay, but I don't know if you. Okay. So says the Ramban. Says the Ramban. Why doesn't the pasuk mention Av? I guess more in the Zoom shiurim, it's more of looking at things afterwards sometimes also. But we do our best, preparing and looking afterwards. That looks like a big Ramban, Ephraim. I don't know how big that is. Looks like a big sefer. Oh, is Kasav Zeh. Says why doesn't the Torah mention it? Ahatam. Even Mishpatei HaYerusha. Alamanchel Nochel Ki Akor V'Shaveh. The first answer of the Ramban is, it does say father. You think it doesn't say father. It does say father. Because when it says son gets from father, that means father gets from son too. Primary relations are two-directional. Again, you can't. Somebody asked me before cheer. Ramban can't mean that all cases of manchel are nochel, because that's true. There are some cases we had in our Mishnah. Some are manchel, some are nochel. But he says the Mishpatei Yerusha in primary, let's call it, in primary relations, kol manchel nochel. Anyone who gives gets ki akur v'shaveh, because it's a relation that goes in both directions. Kivan shamar akasa shaben Yerushas aviv, gam Yerushas aben. What's the Ramban's first answer? It does say it. You think it doesn't say it. You think it doesn't say father. It does say father. When it says son from father, that means father from son also. That's the first answer. What's important is also that he does not say the second answer. The first answer obviously feels differently than the second answer. Va'od. Then we get to the second answer. Va'od. Ki ha-Yerusha hi b'shalsheles hazera b'yotze chalatzav. Lo b'stadin. That's a key line. Ramban and other places in Shas say differently. We're just focusing on this Ramban. Yerusha goes up, down, not sideways, says the Ramban. Yerusha goes Yotze Chalatzav. It goes the chain of progeny, up, down. Right? Yotze Chalatzav lo b'stadin. Yerusha does not go sideways. V'im kain, and therefore, unisatemes nachalaso le'achav. Once it says brothers get, how do brothers get? Mashma nachla shaha'av yorish bekever umimenu tavo la'achim. If it says brothers, then that includes father. It's amazing. 2 days in the Ramban, basically, first day it says, it says son to father, and then it must be father. The son from father, so that means father from son too. But where does it mean? Where does father learned out from? Son. This day is like, no, it's as if it says father because it says brothers. And brothers only get it from the father, says the Ramban. Because Yerusha doesn't go sideways. It goes up, down, up. And therefore, if it says brothers, it doesn't go from Reuven to Shimon. It must go from Reuven to Yaakov to Shimon. Mashma, again, shanachla, sha'av, yorish bekever, umimenu tavalachim. Avalo ratzalomar, v'mein lo bas, v'nozad nachzolav. If they don't want to say it literally, explicitly, right, as the Gemara said, because it's tragic if the father would die before the son. He doesn't want to say it explicitly. Not the normal way of life. That's why it doesn't say it explicitly. But you know it because it says brothers, then obviously fathers are included, because brothers only get it through the father, because Yerusha doesn't go sideways, says the Ramban. Yerusha goes up, down, what we call mishmush. That's the Ramban. That's number 2. Again, what is the first day I hold? First day I didn't say that. First day I didn't say that, Yerusha only goes up, down. I'm assuming there's a fundamental difference between the different days, right? To exclusivity. And then the Ramban just adds at the end, I think somebody mentioned this last week too, there was no case like that in the Midbar. Definitely wasn't mentioned. Moshe's talking to the Bnei Slavchad. It never happened that the son would die before the father, so he didn't mention it. Moshe here is not telling them rules forever. He's telling them, what was Lamaisa then? Okay. What is the Ramban telling us? There are 2 very different ways that we can understand Yerushas Ha'ach. On the surface, a lot of the evidence points to, as we said, mishmush, like the second day of the Ramban. A brother gets through the father. But there's definitely a hint, and there's definitely another way to understand it, and there is evidence, as we just saw, no, it goes brother to brother. again, first day of the Ramban, is a separate independent relative called Ach. And an Ach is Morish to his Ach. That's Yashir, not Mishmush. It's Yashir. And maybe that's the 2 days of the Ramban. And maybe, I'll take the question in a second, maybe that's why, again, this is just a conjecture, maybe that's why the Torah didn't want to say it explicitly. Not to give us the impression, the emphasis. So Ramban says it doesn't say father because it's obviously included, and it goes through the father. Maybe the other day holds, it doesn't say father because it doesn't want us to think that it goes through the father. The opposite, because it's independence. If it would have said son, daughter, father, brother, then you would have thought, okay, obviously it goes through the father. By not mentioning the father, maybe one could say like the Ramban, right? Because it's obvious it goes through the father, or maybe as we see, there's evidence that it goes directly from brother to brother. And maybe that's why, another reason why it wouldn't mention it, because it would be direct. One more point, and then Avram, I'll take your question. Maybe these two ideas, different types of Yerusha, Mishmush versus Yashir, is reflected in the Meiri. Because again, Mishmush, sure there are some cases of Mishmush. Let's say a father's brothers, an uncle to a nephew, l'chora, that's Mishmush. That's distant. But two brothers, maybe not. We'll talk about the biological relationship soon. Meiri categorizes these two types, what we're calling Mishmush u Yashir. That's the Meiri. The Meiri seems to say, he calls it two madregas of Yerusha. Madregas that go up, down, and madregas that go across. Again, the Ramban says Yerusha always goes up, down. Meiri says no. Meiri says there are two categories, right? Up, down, or across. And he says brothers go across. He puts the brothers into the across one. Doesn't sound like the Meiri is holding mishmush for brothers. Right, the language of the Meiri towards the beginning of the parak, Harishona shoha echad elyon al hasheni, kigon abu ben, ashnia sheshneim al madrega achas bekurva, kigon achim. Sounds like it's madrega achas, and therefore it goes one to the other. Benachlas osam shem shavim bekurva, klal madrega ashnia. He seems to say there are two categories here, but he puts Achim in the Yashir one. Yes, Avram.
Was the second answer of the Ramban saying that if the pasuk mentioned father explicitly, you would have thought that the father is one relation, is one Yerusha, and the brothers is a different Yerusha, and the brothers were directly from each other. And now that the pasuk didn't mention Av, it's telling you to look into the relation of the brother and realize that it's going through the father. And the pasuk is telling you the father.
Right, which is the opposite. You're trying to say the opposite of what I just said. I don't know if the Ramban is, which is possible. It doesn't sound like to me for the Ramban is saying, the Ramban isn't saying, it didn't mention us, and that teaches us. It doesn't say that. It just says it's an obvious point. He's not focusing on, he's saying it's not mentioned because it doesn't need to be mentioned. That's what he says. Because Yerusha goes up, down. And therefore, by saying brothers, father is obvious. How are the brothers going to get it? The brothers can't get it from each other, according to the second day of the Ramban. Yerusha doesn't go across. Yerusha only goes up, down. So if it says brothers, it's obvious that the father is the mechanism of transfer. That's the Ramban. Again, the Meiri says beferish. No, Meiri says there's madrega shnia to go across. So I'm just adding to that, and maybe that's why the Torah doesn't say it. So emphasize that Achim are independent. Emphasize that. Again, that's an idea. Okay, so let's get back though now. So maybe now we get back to all of some of the questions. Remember we asked about the Balei Tosfos. Balei Tosfos asked on Kuf Chesam and Aleph, and Kuf Chesam and Beis. Why does it have to say Achim? It says father. Right? So, Achim doesn't even have to say Achim beferish. So again, that mentality is only mishmush. If you say it's a davar yashir, then maybe there's some significance to saying brothers. We'll have nafkaminas towards the end. I don't know if we'll get to it today. There are differences in halacha between whether you would say mishmush to the father or ach to ach directly. Right? It's not just those are saying, why does he have to mention it? No, maybe it mentions it to teach us that is independent. It's ach to ach. It's not from the father. But again, Tosfos doesn't answer that. Tosfos seems to accept the aunt's question. Tosfos says, why does it have to say it? So on Amud Beis, Tosfos says, for sure, yeah, it didn't have to say it. But on Amud Aleph, remember, Kuf Chesam and Aleph, what did Tosfos say? Had to say it because of Achim min ha'aim. And why did it have the Achim min ha'aim? I would have thought was his lashon. Even if they don't get it through aim, they get it mishum Achim. Tosfos is saying beferish. Even Tosfos is having it as a havamina at least. An idea of two types of Yerusha. An idea of, right, Tosfos says, why do you have to say brothers from the mother? Once the mother doesn't get the brothers, obviously. No, maybe they won't get it through the mother, but they would get it themselves. They would get it Achim to Achim. Tosfos has that as a possibility. Kamash Malon, you don't say that. Kamash Malon, you don't say that because, of course, there's no such thing as Ach to Ach, or at least not from the mother. And Tosfos' maskana on Amud Aleph is not clear. Amud Beis, he seems to accept the fact that it goes through the father. But Kuf Chesam and Aleph doesn't seem to be as clear. But again, Tosfos is about this issue. How do you look at the Yerusha of the brothers? And finally, the Sefer HaTrumos. What the Sefer HaTrumos, what was his comment? And the Ravid, right? The Chanoch, getting from Yaakov, he could say, I'm standing in Yaakov's shoes. But maybe he can't say I'm sitting in Shimon's shoes. But 1 second. Shimon goes through Yaakov anyway. So if Shimon goes through Yaakov anyway, so it should be the same case. The answer is maybe not. Maybe Shimon does not go through Yaakov. Maybe Shimon goes straight to Ruvain. And if he goes straight to Ruvain, so then maybe there's a chilek. He can't say I'm in my uncle's shoes. He can only say I'm in my grandfather's shoes. So again, that's the suffix of the Sefer HaTrumos. Right? How do you look at Yerusha from the brothers? That is the question. What about the sheet of the Rambam? Again, I'm holding off on giving svaras for the uniqueness biologically of brother, but we'll get to there soon. First, we're just doing a lot of the evidence, and then we'll talk about one or two svaras, hopefully. Sheet of the Rambam. And maybe get a clear sheet of what the Rambam holds. Does he hold mishmush? Does he hold yashir? Do you have any thoughts? Again, whatever you say is good, because there are different impressions from the Rambam. Different ideas. So let's see some of the Rambams. The Rambam in Vav Aleph and Beis in Hilchos Nachlos. Vav Aleph and Beis. What is the Rambam talking about there? He's talking about the din of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka. Everybody there, just to make sure everybody's here, still here. Yaakov, you here? Good. You have you opening up your sefer. Aaron, you're here. Yehuda, Yedidya, Shlomo, Akali, Dov, Eli, Ephraim, Yonatan, Avrami, Avram, Nathanael, Levi. Mikey, you there? Ellie's there.
I'm here.
Okay, great. I love to see you. You know, when I see you, it helps my day. And Zaka as well. I know.
Right.
Okay, awesome. So let's keep going. Let's keep it up. And then I can't walk around the shear room, so this is my walking around. Okay. So the beginning of the 6th parak of the Rambam is Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka. Remember, on the first day of shear, we did an overview of the Mishnayos and the parak. What did Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka say? What was his din? You're allowed to flip things around, right? Even though you can't say, people aren't going to be Yoresh, If you have a potential Yoresh, you could give him all the stuff. Might not be a great idea, but if somebody has 4 kids, you could say, I want kid number 3 to get all the Yerusha. That's what Yochanan ben Brokas did. Right, that's later on in the Perek. That's going to come up often. Kuf Lamed Vav. For the daf, you have Kuf Lamed Vav and Aleph. Right, that's the, no, did I make a mistake? Kuf Lamed, where is the Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka? Chav Vav. Chav Lamed Beis, no, it's the next one. Kuf Chav. Kuf Lamed. Kuf Lamed, sorry. Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, Kuf Lamed. Amar Amisha Roy Liyarsho, Ein Dvarav Kayamin. You say, one of my sons should get the Yerusha, great. One of my, strangers should get the Yerusha, doesn't work. So you're only allowed to do that for Roy Liyarsha. The Rambam says, who does it work for? Who's included? Who can you say? You could choose one son out of many sons. If you only have daughters, you could choose one daughter out of many daughters. Who else does it work for? The Rambam says, Vav Aleph, Ein Adam Yachol Orish Min She'eino Roy Liyarsho. V'lo La'akar Yerusha Min HaYoresh. Right, you can't give it to someone who's not on the list. Even though it's Gistini Mamonis, we mentioned this Rambam. No, there's an Isser element as well. And then Halacha Beis. The Rambam says, examples. But what does the Mishnah say? The Mishnah's examples, back on Kuf Lamed, the Mishnah doesn't give examples. He just says, Ro'ui Liyarsho. So who's Roy Liyarsho? The Rambam lists in the middle of Halacha Beis. Avalim Hayelo Yarshim Rabim. Go Banim Rabim, O Banos, O Achim. The Rambam says, a son amongst sons is considered Roy Liyarsho. A daughter amongst daughters is Roy Liyarsho. A brother amongst brothers is Roy Liyarsho. So the Rambam says, if somebody has 5 brothers, that's called Roy Liyarsho. He could choose one brother out of 5 to Yarshin him. Again, if he doesn't have any sons and his father's not alive, the brothers are next in line. Rabbi Kiva Eger assumes the fact that the Rambam puts Achim here means it's direct. Because Roy Liyarsho requires direct. It can't be through Mishmush. It can't be through the father. That would not be called Roy Liyarsho of the person himself. That's Rabbi Kiva Eger's ha'ara. Is it obvious? Not sure if it's obvious, but that's what he assumes. Kiva Eger on Shulchan Aruch. Kiva Eger on Shulchan Aruch in Reish Nun Aleph. Reish Pei Aleph. Sorry, Reish Pei Aleph. Reish Pei Aleph in Ilchos Nachlos on Shulchan Aruch. That's where the Shulchan Aruch quotes this halacha that a person could choose somebody who's Roy Liyarsho. Says Rabbi Kiva Eger. The Shulchan Aruch quotes the Rambam. Mizeh nire raya, ach yoresh achim, shelo ayidei mishmush, mikoach avihem. Says Rabbi Kiva Eger, I think this Rambam is a foolproof raya, brother to brother, because he's only called Roy Liyarsho if it's direct. Ukedenira kendai goes to Beis Yosef, Im Kain, because if you say otherwise, how could this work? Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka says you can't have somebody who's not Ro'ui the Yarshin you. If it's not coming to you, it's coming through the father. That's not called Yarshin in you. He's not the Morish as Echad. How would that be called Roy Liyarsho? So Rabbi Kiva Eger assumes it's a davar pashut. The Rambam holds, the Rambam who gives the examples of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka as son, daughter, father, no, not father, because son, daughter, brother. He says brother, says that's included. That's a raya mochrachas. He assumes that a brother is directly from a brother. Fine. That's one Rambam. Another Rambam I gave you, and this. So Rabbi Kiva Eger pointed out that Rambam. There's another Rambam that the Chazon Ish pointed out. You have to know all of Torah to know any Torah. That's what the Chazon Ish tells us. So you have to look in Hilchos Rotzeach to learn something about Yerusha. In Hilchos Rotzeach, the Rambam says in Perek Aleph, Hilchos Rotzeach, the Sefer Nezikin. The Rambam says we know there's something called the Goal Adam. A Goel Adam is famous for the killing B'shogeg. Somebody kills B'shogeg, he has to run to a near mikvah because the Goel Adam might kill him. What if the person kills B'mezid? Goel Adam do anything when the person kills B'mezid? What does the Rambam tell us? Anybody see this Rambam? Hello, anybody? No, the Rambam tells us. Kind of lonely sometimes. I don't hear like all the noise and do what I can. Feel free to just like unmute and like cough or something. Says the Rambam in Hilchos Rotzeach. If a person kills b'mezid, has to get Goel Adam to participate in the Misa. The Rambam says, "Mitzvah b'yad Goel Adam, chol haroi liyerusha hu Goel Adam." Who's a Goel Adam? Roi liyerusha. Who's included in that? A brother. A brother's also included in that. The Rambam says, based on a specific diuk, that based on a Gemara Mitzvah Makos, that if somebody killed their father, Rahman al-Islan, then the brother is not a Goel Adam to kill their father. Just keep it at the aim there, and therefore that doesn't apply. But technically, the Chazon Ish writes, I didn't give it to you to look at, but the Chazon Ish in Hilchos Sanhedrin in Simin Yurches, he says, "Lamadnu lefizeh Yud Tes Gimel." I'm trying to look it up. Yud Tes. I'm sorry. Yud Tes Gimel. Lamadnu mizeh da'ach yorei shalo machmas mishmush. He says another Rambam. Doesn't get it through mishmush. Doesn't get it through mishmush. Correct. That's the Rambam. Fine.
Rabbi.
We would stop here. Rabbi Akiva Eiger has his Rambam. The Chazon Ish has his Rambam.
Rabbi.
Yeah.
What was the most recent thing that Rabbi said about like Yud days?
About what?
I don't know. The most recent thing after the Hilchos Rotzeach about anyone being right at Yerushas.
I said that the Rambam, the Chazon Ish holds that the Rambam holds it's also direct because included in the person who's Roi Liyerusha is the brother, and the brother is a Goel Adam. And Dafka, only if the brother has to kill his father, that's a specific thing that's excluded. But really, it's called direct. There's one problem though, maybe two problems. Maybe we'll end with this problem and we'll have to start off with it to try to answer it tomorrow. There's another Rambam. That's another Rambam that I gave you in Hilchos Nachlas, Beis Zayin. Nachlas Beis Zayin. Hilchos Nachlas. Somebody has two cases of the Rambam. Somebody has two sons. Two sons, a firstborn and a non-firstborn. Let's say the sons both die in the lifetime of the father. So when the father dies, the children of the Bechar are going to get the double portion, even though both sons are not alive anymore. But they yarshin from their father. Their father was a firstborn. So the Rambam says that the children, the grandchildren, let's say the children of the Bechar are going to get a double portion. Let's say Reuven and Shimon. Reuven's the Bechar. So Reuven and Shimon, let's say they're the only two sons of the family. So Reuven's kids are going to get a double portion. The Rambam says the same thing would apply. B'nei Achim. What does that mean? Let's say Reuven, Shimon, and Levi, three brothers. Levi dies. And Reuven and Shimon are splitting up the property. Or even Reuven and Shimon's kids are splitting up the property. Reuven's kids get a double portion in Levi's stuff. Again, Levi died. Reuven and Shimon, and the children of Reuven and Shimon are going to get a double portion of Levi's stuff. Wait a second. Why should Reuven get a double portion in Levi's stuff? Right? Reuven's not a Bechar to his brother. He's only a Bechar to his father. So why should Reuven get a double portion in his brother's stuff? Unless you say Levi's stuff comes to him through the father. Mishmush. right? If you say Levi's stuff comes to Reuben and Shimon through the father, then that could explain why Reuben is going to get a double portion in Levi's stuff. If it's direct from Levi, then Reuben and Shimon just split equally. That's a problem. From this Rambam, seems like mishmush, not direct. Right? Royally, Rabbi Kiva Eger thought Royal Yerusha by Rabbi Yehuda Meseira is direct. The Chazon Ish felt that the Rambam Nechot is direct. But this Rambam, the children, the Bnei Achiav, right? The children, right? Reuben and Shimon's children, Reuben's kids got a double portion of Levi stuff. Why should that be? Sounds like only mishmush. Just to add one other Rambam, and I guess then we'll have to stop. Did I give you this Rambam to look at, the Pirushim Mishnayos? Have you look at that Rambam? For the Pirushim, yes. Pirushim Mishnayos, right here. The Rambam here in the Pirushim Mishnayos says explicitly. First of all, he has a lashon that relates to our first sugya. You didn't see the Pirushim Mishnayos yet, right here in the back. Yerushas Mishnah Beis. The Rambam says when someone dies, the sons go into their shoes. It's a very strong lashon the Rambam has. I'll read the lashon. Yarshake says, where's the lashon? Lachshov ki'ilu zeh hazoche b'Yerusha hu oso sheniftar. The Rambam in the Pirushim Mishnah, he says the one that's getting Yerusha is the niftar. It's a very strong lashon. And he goes through the whole Seder. It's a nice Rambam. I mean, every Rambam is nice. He goes through just the order of Yerusha. And he talks about if Amram dies, Moshe and Aaron get the Yerusha. What if Moshe and Aaron already died? He goes through the whole line. But then he says, what happens if Amram died and then Moshe and Aaron had already died? Who's going to get Amram's Yerusha? His father, Ahas. Lo nimtza. So if Amram dies, so then it goes to Kahas. What if Kahas died already? So then you look at the Rambam's lashon is you look at Kahas's Yarshim, and if you look at Kahas's Yarshim, which are Amram's brothers, they get the Yerusha, but they get it because they are Kahas's sons, not because they are Amram's brothers. The Rambam says that explicitly, right here. You look at that Rambam in the Pirushim Mishnayos right here, he explicitly says mishmush. That goes through the father. So again, if you sometimes have a Pirushim Mishnayos versus Mishnah Torah, you say, okay, it was Choser Bo, he retracted. But here we also have a Rambam in Hilchos Nachlos. We have a Rambam in Hilchos Nachlos. So we have to figure out that Rambam in Perek Beis Halacha Zayin sounds like if the Bnei Reuven are going to get a double portion from Levi's stuff, that sounds like church. How can we figure out the shita of the Rambam? That is where we'll have to leave it. And again, meaning, is there any reason why a brother should be the first on the list? Number two, is there any reason how can we put these two Rambams together? Number three, think about logically, what is the uniqueness of the relationship of a brother or a sister? But we're talking about brothers compared to other relationships. What is unique about that? So those are the three points we're going to talk about more tomorrow. Again, why should a brother be first? Is there any way to put these two Rambams together? Maybe there's another understanding of mishmush, as we'll see, and we'll go from there. The next sugya, I guess we're just going to start, again, maybe we'll start in the middle. I'll try to send out my comments tomorrow. It's going to be just do the Gemara. Zayin Abayz, Chesem Abayz, and the bottom Tosfos. The next sugya is going to be about Ham Liyibum. So look at the bottom Rashbam and the bottom Tosfos. If I don't say that, the Marmar comments in time, when you finish, the bottom Rashbam and Tosfos on Kuf Ches Amid Beis. Yes, Yonatan.
Is it possible to say? I mean, I don't know the Gemara around the case of the Rambam where he indicates mishmush by two brothers. Well, if Levi dies and Reuven gets double portion. I mean, I don't know the Gemara on that, but is it possible that if the brothers have a special relationship, there's a special din in them that you collect a double portion for the brothers.
So
Through
why should that be? He's not a bachar to his brother. He's a bachar to his father.
I don't know. I don't know the relationship enough, but it's
right?
unique.
He's my oldest brother. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Any other questions specifically now?